Imagine you're building a house, but you leave half the tools in the shed. That's what it's like ignoring the incredible tech tools we have at our fingertips for weight loss. Today, I'm showing you how to unlock the power of ChatGPT to create personalized meal plans that fit your life and include foods you actually love, like chocolate, tacos, cheeseburgers, and even wine. Welcome to the Health Hobby Podcast, the place for busy moms searching for simple solutions to weight loss, more energy, better nutrition, fitness, and healthy living time management. I'm your host, Amanda Ford. Stick with me and make health your hobby as I guide you through simple steps and skill-building exercises so you can finally hit those dreamy health and weight loss goals. Take it from me, it's time to kick all those fad diets and quick fix workouts to the curb. It's all about slowing down and finding your very own rhythm of healthy living, because when you find your health, you find your joy. Let's dive in. Hello, friend. Welcome back to the Health Hobby Podcast. Thanks for tuning in yet again this week. I'm your host, Amanda Ford. I'm glad to have you back. And if you're new here, welcome. If you're listening in real time, hats off to you. I really appreciate all the listeners who keep tuning in each week on Tuesdays. That's when I drop episodes. So be sure to say hello to me over in the YouTube comments if that's you. I'd love to learn where you're listening from. And if you have questions or topic ideas, you can always put those in the YouTube comments. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, of course. And before we get started on today's juicy topic, I do have some announcements. I will not have an episode the week of Christmas, so I decided to take a much needed break from the podcasting work, which is a ton of work, but I've been having so much fun. But I decided, hey, this is my business. I can do whatever I want. So I'm going to not have an episode that week, but the wait will be so worth it. The following week on December 31st, so that's New Year's Eve, I am dropping a workshop episode that will guide you to plan your first 30 days of 2025. And I know if you're listening to this podcast that you have major healthy living and weight loss goals for 2025, so you're not going to want to miss that episode. And you might be wondering, well, why is it only the first 30 days that we're going to be planning? So I'm a really big believer in taking baby steps. And one of the reasons I feel, and I've personally experienced that, so myself and others fail at their New Year's resolutions, their New Year's weight loss, healthy living plans and goals and intentions, is that the plan and the intention is just way too big. It's too massive. And so I'm going to scale it down. We're going to work on your first month. We're going to do some reflection, and then we're going to work on your very first month and plug in some really simple routines to get your feet wet and to get your wheels churning and get the momentum going so you don't quit. And the real kicker is, my goal is that you build the confidence up the first month that you can keep going, because all of us I know in January, in the back of our mind, I did it last January, but I couldn't keep up. I did it the January before that, but I quit. It's just this little hum in the back of our minds. And that's something else that triggers us to quit yet again. So let's simplify. We're going to work on just 30 days of 2025. And hey, the rest of the year, I'll be with you. So don't worry. You will not fall off track if you stick with me. And I'm so excited. On that very same day, I'm dropping a video workshop over on my YouTube channel showing you how to create your 2025 digital healthy living and weight loss vision board. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. So you're going to be able to do that using a free graphics design software called Canva. You can download the app now, start playing with it. You can get it on your phones, your iPads, your computers. So you can do this literally anywhere. And it's free, so that's even better. You can get a paid version if you want. It's $12.99 a month. And I don't have any affiliation with them, but I love Canva. I use it for all my graphics and everything for the podcast. So you've seen it in action if you follow me. It's going to be a lot of fun. I created a sample vision board and I just kind of went crazy and I spent a lot of time on it. And it was so fun and inspiring. And after it's all done, you can save it. You can print multiple versions of it, stick it at your office, on your refrigerator, in your bedroom, in your bathroom. You can even save a digital version of this vision board that you're going to make and make it the wallpaper on your phone or your computer. It can go with you anywhere. So no magazines needed, no glue, no glitter, no poster board. You don't have to go spend $1 million at the craft store and buy magazines that none of us really have anymore. We're going to do it online digitally, and you can make multiple copies of it so it can just inspire you all the time, everywhere. I am so excited for this, and it's going to be a ton of fun. Getting into creativity can really spark a lot of joy in people. So I think that's something that a lot of us miss, is that, when we're kids at school, we're like doing art time and crafts, and we're kind of inspired all the time to make little things. As adults, that can wane if that's not really something that you do on your own, like maybe you're an artist or something, but getting into creativity sparks so much joy and fun. And it's the perfect combination to combine healthy living focus and maybe a little art time, creativity, collage time digitally, or can I say that? Digitally, over on Canva to make your 2025 healthy living and weight loss vision board. So let's get full focus together. Both of those things are happening on New Year's Eve. So that's December 31st of this year. And don't worry if you can't make it, they'll be up forever. I'm not going to take them down. So you can pop in and listen and watch both of those things on YouTube and on all your podcast platforms. So mark your calendar for New Year's Eve. Those episodes will be live at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's such a fun way to end the year and start the year at the same time. Okay, let's fire up today's topic. Today, we're going to be talking about utilizing one of the most popular tech items out there right now. It is AI, and it is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is totally free, and I have to admit, I never wanted to use ChatGPT. When it came out, I was like, I hate this. It's a monster. I don't like it. I was scared of it. I'm just letting you know, like, I was very hesitant to use it. I was seeing ads for it, seeing strategies that people were using in their business for ChatGPT. And I thought, well, okay, that's kind of cool. I still was like, nope, I'm doing everything on my own. No. I'm never, ever going to use it. So of course I gave in. Now I have to say I absolutely love it. And I saw an ad one day I think I was on YouTube, and an ad popped up, and it was a gal. It was for social media planning, and she had created a 30-day Instagram content calendar or something like that with ChatGPT. And I watched it happen. She put a prompt in. I watched it happen. I was like, oh, that's cool. But then I was like, holy cow, I'm going to use this for making meal plans. And then I downloaded it right then, and I didn't even really know how to use it. It does take some practice, but my mind was completely blown. So now here I am telling you, if you're scared of AI, like I am a little bit, I think we all kind of are, this is a really positive way to interact and use the computer software to guide you and lead you towards healthy living. So let's talk about this a little bit more and see how you can use ChatGPT to create meal plans for a healthy weight loss. So my goal on this podcast is always to make things super simple, easy, and actionable. And using ChatGPT for meal planning, it's literally like a must do now. In my mind, we didn't have this opportunity before. You can always go on Pinterest. That's my other favorite place to look for recipes and meal plans, because there's people all out there, doing this stuff, sharing what they use, putting it on the internet. It's there for us. But this tool, using ChatGPT, really allows you to customize. And it's so simple. It literally takes 30 seconds. So anything that's simple and easy and actionable and safe is something I'm going to encourage you to use in your weight loss journey. Many times people get overwhelmed trying to figure out what to eat on a weight loss journey, that it holds them back. They get frustrated because they have to eliminate foods they love. And guess what? They eventually stop, they stop their program, or they just don't take any action at all. They throw their hands up. They're like, this is frustrating. I don't know what to do. I'm over it. And then they're stuck. And a lot of times maybe they gain more weight. They dig themselves in an even deeper hole. I've been there. I'm sure a lot of you out there listening have been there too. So let's think about how we can get creative and open-minded about using the technology that is here for us to help us eliminate overwhelm, create simplicity in our weight loss journey. Gone are the days of handwriting food logs and manually calculating calories to make a meal plan. So what ChatGPT can do is save you oodles of time. It allows you to stay consistent. And like I said previously, it simplifies your weight loss journey. Anything that's simple is more easy to maintain. I will say that over and over again. So why wouldn't you use this tool? So why wouldn't you use every tool at your fingertips to allow you to absolutely crush your goals? You can make any type of meal plan you want here with ChatGPT. So again, today's theme is using ChatGPT to create meal plans. And it has so much capability. I couldn't ever cover all the options for you today. I kind of dwindled it down to give us some themes and what we're going to do with the software. But you can even tell it what type of food theme you want. Like maybe you want to eat Mediterranean style, or you want Mexican food all week, or maybe you're planning a dinner party. It has nothing to do with weight loss. You're like, I'm having a dinner for 20 people. I don't know what to feed them or how much. You can use this tool for that purpose. But for our purposes today, I want to spark a little interest in you for using ChatGPT for creating weight loss meal plans. And so I've made up 3 themes for us to use the software so you can kind of see how the nuances and how you prompt it can really change the output. And what that is the answer that it gives you. And all of these are weight loss themed prompts. So I'm going to give you 3 prompts to put into ChatGPT to give you the meal plans. And I'm going to put a little extra detail in the prompts that are going to make it even more incredible and mind-blowing. These 3 prompts that I'm going to give you today will show you how to use ChatGPT if you haven't used it before, and what types of prompts you can plug in so it can guide your meal planning for weight loss. So we're going to do 3 themes here. We're going to do a 7-day high protein meal plan. We're going to do a macronutrient ratio focused meal plan. And we're going to do a specific meal of the day meal plan. So that will be like breakfast. So you'll see here in a minute. But again, the capabilities of ChatGPT are so immense that there's no way for me to share everything that it can do for you. And make sure that you listen all the way through this episode for a couple of reasons. One, I'm going to give you a bonus prompt at the end, so you want to grab that. But at the end, I'm going to talk about safe ways to ensure that ChatGPT is giving you quality data. It is a computer. It's ultra smart. It has access to literally everything on the web and everything that was programmed into it, but it's not perfect. Just like us, it's not perfect. And so we have to be really careful when we're using it. So I'm going to talk about best practices when using ChatGPT after we go through the prompts. So make sure you definitely listen all the way to the end. I want you to make sure to download the free template in the show notes to follow along. And don't forget to listen closely to the tips for customizing these prompts for optimal results. So I have these prompts in a free download. Just scroll down to the show notes, the show description. You can download it for free, so you don't have to write them down. If you are somewhere you can write them down, I do recommend taking notes. Maybe you want to kind of scribble out what I put and, change the foods that I'm using as examples. You don't need to do that. Again, you can just go down to the show notes and grab the template, and you can just copy and paste them right into ChatGPT, and you are on your way to planning your very own custom meal plan for weight loss. Let's jump in. Prompt number 1. So a prompt in ChatGPT is basically it's instructions you're giving the AI, and it computes an answer. It gives you an output. So this is the first prompt that we're going to do. The theme of this prompt is a high protein meal plan. And this high protein meal plan includes some foods that I love. And I'm going to tell ChatGPT to create a specific meal plan with the parameters that I give it that is focused on weight loss. So how is my prompt focused on weight loss? Well, one might have a goal to eat 100 grams of protein a day. They want to eat high protein. They're working within a calorie budget, so their max calories are 1,700 calories a day. And they like, these are things that I like, they like to eat chocolate, they love tacos, and they like cheeseburgers. Okay, so cool. I know there's kind of a lot of information there. If that was a little overwhelming, just step back and listen. I know we have to kind of think about what are the parameters. This is how ChatGPT can really give us really spot on and precise outputs when we give it prompts. So think about, what's your calorie budget? How much protein do you want? And think about 3 foods that you like to eat during the week. So I'm going to give you the prompt here in a second, but if you're listening and you can write it down, or pop down and get my template and copy and paste this into ChatGPT. If you want to open ChatGPT right now and watch the magic happen, your mind will be blown. Mine was the first time I did this, or you can do it later. But here is the prompt. Create a 7-day meal plan that is high in protein, 100 grams, that maxes out at 1,700 calories total per day and includes dark chocolate and taco night. Add turkey sandwiches at lunch, add quantities of each ingredient, build the meal plan in a table format, and finish with a grocery list with items separated by the type of food category in the grocery store. That is the prompt. I know that was a lot. Go down and get the template. I'm going to say it multiple times because it's kind of a lot to listen to. When ChatGPT gets that prompt and you push enter, it's going to take about maybe 30 to 45 seconds to generate its output. And it's absolutely incredible. So when I input that prompt, I push enter. It kind of thinks a little bit, and then it starts spitting out the results. It says, here's a 7-day meal plan that's high in protein, and it's in parentheses, it says 1,700 calories. And because I prompted it to put it in a table format, it is literally it looks like an Excel spreadsheet. It says day 1, there's a column, the meal, there's a column, the menu on the next column, the calories, the protein, carbs, and fat are all listed out in a table format, line by line, meal by meal. It's like you have a personal chef, personal meal planner right at your fingertips. I can even see right now on day 1, it says for breakfast, have 3 egg whites and 1 whole egg, 1 slice of whole grain toast, and a quarter of an avocado. It tells me exactly how many calories that is total, how much protein, carbs, and fat are in that breakfast. Same for snacks. It says, hey, you should eat 1 small apple with 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. Same, it gives me the calorie breakdown. Lunch, turkey sandwich, like I told it, right? 2 slices of whole grain bread, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Gives me snacks, 1 ounce of dark chocolate. Let's go. It's also telling me to have a cup of baby carrots, which is good. We need to have some veggies there. In dinner, it's saying, hey, have 5 ounces of grilled chicken, a half cup of cooked quinoa, 1 cup of steamed broccoli, and a teaspoon of olive oil. And the total calories for that day, it's saying it's 1,310. And I'm going to talk about this in a second because I did tell it to go up to 1,700 calories. And this is an example that I'm going to be talking about at the end of the podcast of why we can use ChatGPT as a tool, but we have to be very careful and analyze the outputs that it's giving us. But you guys, there is 7 days of meals, breakfast, lunch, 2 snacks, and dinner mapped out in a table format for me. I don't have to do any thinking. Here it is right here for you. Super simple. It took 45 seconds. How cool is that? So why does this work for us? So this plan fits into this specific calorie budget, although it was a little low in calories that we told it to, and we can actually adjust it. You can tell ChatGPT to make adjustments and it would repeat the exact same thing, and you could tweak it in that way, or you can take action into your own hands, which I recommend to make the tweaks yourself. But this meal plan is allowing you to eat foods you love. And if we're eating foods we love regularly, we can more easily sustain long-term weight loss. So here's a pro tip when we're using ChatGPT too, is I already said this, you want to tweak the meal plan to your preferences. So if you didn't like the foods that I said, hey, for lunch, add turkey sandwich, you're like, oh, I don't like those. add whatever you want. Maybe you want to have a burrito for lunch. Tell it exactly what you want. So I'm giving you the prompt. You can cross out the food that I chose. Use that prompt as your template and tell the AI exactly what you want on your meal plan. The sky is the limit here. It's totally fun. And it's just fun to play with too. Maybe you don't use these meal plans, but you're just like, let me check it out. That's the spark and the interest that I want for this episode. And I do want you to try it because you're probably going to be like, whoa, this is crazy. And you can use it for so many other things. Okay, prompt number 2. The theme for prompt number 2 is a macro specific meal plan with specific macronutrient ratios for the week in the meal plan. So a macronutrient, so macro, the prefix macro means large or prominent. Macronutrients are nutrients that we need in large quantities to sustain life. So nutrients like fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. I bet you've heard of those before, right? Those are the big macronutrients that everyone's always focused on. And one strategy for weight loss that people use is called eating within your macros. And it's when you create a macro ratio, so a ratio between carbs, fats, and proteins, and you eat within that calorie budget to maintain your calorie deficit. It's definitely a little advanced. If you have questions about that, leave a comment or a question in the YouTube comments, send me an email. But this can make something that can seem extremely complicated super easy. So here is your prompt. Create a 7-day meal plan that fits into these macronutrient ratios: 35% protein, 45% carbohydrate, and 20% fat. Include overnight oats for breakfast, turkey sandwiches with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise for lunch, and crock pot dinners. Add quantities of each ingredient, build the meal plan in a table format, and finish with a grocery list with items separated by type of food category in the store. You can probably notice a pattern that I'm ending the prompt with the same thing because I want a grocery list. I don't want to have to pick back through the meal plan and figure out what to buy at the store. The AI will tell you. So you can literally tell it to do anything. And I always end my meal plan prompts with those 2 sentences. So I get a nice organized grocery list. It's so helpful. But I just want to call it to those ratios that I said for the macronutrients. Those are just examples. But let's check out what happened when I put that prompt in. So right away, when I look at the table, again, I told it to make it in a table format. It's very similar to the first output that it gave me. It's in the same format. I have the day, the meals. I have more detail on the ingredients because I gave it some parameters on percentages that I want for the macronutrients. I still have a calorie total, and I still have grams in proteins, carbs, and fats for each meal. A lot more detail in the ingredients and quantities on this one, and I really, really like it. And it also has shifted a little bit because I said, hey, I want to have, X amount of protein, X amount of fat, X amount of carbs. So I see some shifts. I see a lot more proteins, high protein foods in this one, like Greek yogurt, lots more chicken breast, lots of brown rice. The coolest part about this one I like is that I told it to make crock pot dinners. And this is a podcast for busy moms. Ladies, I don't have time to make dinner when I get home. Actually, I do have time. I just don't want to do it. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. But I have the time, but it's squeezed in between picking up kids at 2 different locations at 2 different times, shuffling one back and forth to her practice, and then going pretty late in the evening back to my son's high school to pick him up from his practice. And trying to make dinner in that time is a little bit frustrating and chaotic for me. And if I can have it just sitting on the calendar and I know it's healthy and it fits into my weight loss plan, that's a huge win. And for whatever reason, my kids really love stuff that I make in the crock pot. They're kind of picky eaters nowadays. They're starting to get more picky. But if I make, like turkey chili, like they love chili. I make that all the time. There's an option on here for crock pot beef and sweet potato stew. That sounds delicious. But these are so yummy, and I wouldn't have even thought to make something like that. And it came to me in 45 seconds because I asked the AI to give me that specific style of dinner. And I'm excited because I'm going to get all these crock pot meals ready, and I'm just going to be able to kick back and put my feet up while it cooks on the counter, and I can maybe watch a little Netflix, work on my podcast. I don't know. I'll get some time back, so that's fun. But think about how you want your life to go, even time-wise, and put that into the prompts when you're making your meal plans. So why I really love this prompt is if you're tracking macros or adjusting your diet for specific goals, this type of meal planning ensures you stay on track without any guesswork, and ChatGPT is helping you to do that. But if you're strapped for time to figure out what to eat within those ratios, and that can be really confusing for people, that it keeps them from starting something that they're excited to try. This process makes it so simple and allows you to stay consistent using this prompt. You want to make sure you double check the macros that ChatGPT is spitting out in your tracking app. So while ChatGPT provides a great starting point, it's not totally accurate all the time, and it depends on varying portion sizes and ingredients, etc. It does a pretty good job, but I have found some discrepancies. So it's really important to maintain your usual routine of tracking your food and making sure that if you're following the exact plan that ChatGPT gave you, that you are still inputting it into your tracker and making the appropriate adjustments, because we don't want you to be overeating because it told you maybe there's an error in a quantity that it gave you, and we also don't want you to be under eating calories. We want you to be in the sweet spot, and the only way that you know that is if you're doing the work yourself. So ChatGPT is our guide, our assistant. It isn't the source of truth all the time. All right, prompt number 3. I really like this one, and I hope this one inspires you guys. So I thought about what could we do that is meal specific. So the type of meal. So this theme is around breakfast. And again, podcast for busy moms. I work full time. Breakfast shouldn't be skipped. And I find that when I skip breakfast, or when my students, when I was coaching people through weight loss, if they were skipping meals, specifically breakfast, they tended to overeat in the evening or even later in the day. So breakfast, yes, it is one of the most important meals. It gets your brain going for work, keeps your blood sugar, regulated if we have a healthy breakfast. It's super, super important. So I came up with this prompt called the grab and go breakfast. So here's your prompt. Create a 5-day meal plan for breakfast to grab and go for work days with at least 40 grams of calorie per breakfast. Finish with a grocery list with items separated by type of food category in the store. No more than 400 calories per meal. So in this one, I gave it some different parameters telling it that each meal should not be more than 400 calories. And I did that because I just kind of was telling it about breakfast. I didn't give it the max calories for the day or anything like that. So I was kind of thinking, if someone's eating 1,700 calories a day, we don't want to have like a huge breakfast all at once. It could spit out something that's like a 900 calorie breakfast if we don't give it parameters. So I was thinking about someone's calorie budget when I made this prompt. So I gave it that little last nudge of information to give us something that we really could use and could be useful for the breakfast. Let's see what it spit out. I love this one so much. It's in this little tiny baby table. It's organized. It says day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and it has breakfast, it has protein, and it has the max calories. So it did pretty good with the proteins. It goes over 40 grams in a couple, but that's fine. But it stayed within the no more than 400 calorie allotment for each breakfast. So there's things on here like a protein shake with cottage cheese and an apple, whole grain English muffin and deli turkey and reduced cheese. So these are things that you could prep easily ahead of time. Another smoothie, and I like this one, a tortilla with scrambled eggs and chicken breast. That would be a really high protein, something you could prep. More eggs and Greek yogurt. Simple stuff, all easily preppable. If it spits out something you don't like, you're like, I don't like to drink protein shakes. You can tell it exactly the foods you want. It can kind of figure out, how can I include these foods so they are something that you're actually going to eat? And maybe some of these you're like, I don't have time to prep a egg burrito in the morning. I don't have time to do that. Tell it that and ask it to refine what it's going to give you. Say, I need quicker breakfast, or I need something that I can literally just take out of the fridge and go, and it will give you more ideas. So don't be afraid to change the answers. This is actually all for you. It's not telling you to do this for sure. It's a guide. And I love this. I like this little tiny table that it spit on this. It gave me on this one a lot. It's just nice and condensed. And for me, I would eat all this stuff. I think these are great options. And if there's something on there that you've never had or you're not super into, give it a try. Maybe you actually do end up liking it. Maybe it is something you can prep and it's easy for you. That's something you want to consider keeping in your meal plan for weight loss. So why does this prompt work so well for us? Well, having these options prepped saves time and keeps you fueled for the day. And if you choose to prep any meal of the day, I always recommend prepping breakfast, because if you start your day out with a healthy meal, you're more likely to continue that routine throughout the day. You're like, I already started. I'm going to keep going throughout the day. It's such a great inspiration that you can give yourself. And so do make the time to do a little bit of prep in the morning of healthy breakfast, and use ChatGPT to give you the guides and ideas to hit those protein goals, hit those calorie goals with a healthy breakfast. And for me, I don't do major preps, but the night before, I like to prep my yogurt and berries. I eat that like every day. And that keeps it simple for me, because it's not like all these different things every day. I eat the same breakfast probably 80% of the time, which makes it simple. I know exactly how much goes into the container. I know exactly how many berries I need to put in there. It's high protein. It makes me feel good. It's fresh. It's clean. I'm off to a great start. So think about things that you love. Tell ChatGPT things that you like to eat and give it the prompt to spit out the 5-day breakfast meal plan for you that'll help you maintain your weight loss. So we've already talked about 3 mega helpful prompts that you could input into ChatGPT. And as a reminder, I know that was a lot of information. Go down to the show notes and download this template so you don't have to worry about, what did I say? How did I tell it to build a table? What did she say at the end? Don't worry about that. Just go get the template and you can adjust anything that I put in there to your liking. So this is one of the most important parts of this episode. Please keep listening, because it is important to know that ChatGPT is ultra intelligent, but it's not perfect. I've already said that just a little bit ago there. So here are some key tips for using ChatGPT safely and effectively for your meal planning. So accuracy totally matters when we're on a weight loss journey. So ChatGPT isn't always 100% accurate. Using it as a starting point is your goal here. So double check calorie counts, macros, and portion sizes that it gives you by using your tracker app, like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer or whatever you use, so you can ensure that you stay within your calorie budget. Customize your goals. Don't be afraid to adjust ingredients or meal ideas to suit your taste and dietary needs. So you can put a very generic prompt into ChatGPT and it's going to come out, with what it thinks is the best solution per the prompt. But it doesn't have to be that. You can say, hey, I don't like salmon. Don't make a meal plan. No salmon. You can literally say ChatGPT, you don't need to call it by name, but you can say, do not put salmon in my meal plan. Do not put cottage cheese in my meal plan. You can get really specific, or you can say, do put persimmons, do put pears, do put, raspberries, protein shakes. You can get very detailed and specific. And I even said this in episode number 10. So go back and listen to it. It's called How to Lose Belly Fat for Real. It's a great episode. In that episode, I remind everyone that when you're on your weight loss journey and you're managing a calorie budget, that calorie budget is unique to you. So you can use my prompts from that I just gave you that you can download, but please adjust them so they are appropriate for your own calorie needs and also for your own food preferences. If you need help or have questions, leave them in the comments on YouTube or send me an email. But it's very important to know that I might give you a guidance or an example. Those aren't the exact numbers that you should use. They coincidentally might be, but you always have to check. Weight loss is about precision. And when we can get real precise and on the money in our calorie deficits and our calorie tracking, that's when the magic happens. And ChatGPT, although it's very, very smart, it does need an eye. It needs a human eye to make sure that it's going to point you in the right direction. Why tracking still matters. Even with great tools like ChatGPT, tracking your food intake is essential. This helps you ensure where you might need to tweak or if a plan is working for you or if it's not. So even if you think your nutrition is dialed in and you notice like, hey, I'm not really seeing any shifts in my weight or I'm not feeling great with the food that I'm eating, you gotta tweak it. So if ChatGPT is pointing you in one direction and you thought that was a really great meal plan that it spit out for you, you're like, oh, this is perfect. I love everything on this. You have to make your own personal tweaks and analyze how you're feeling and how the quantity of food is getting you to your goal. Remember to stay balanced, you guys. The goal is sustainability. A good meal plan includes foods you love and is realistic for you to stick with it long term. So again, ChatGPT may spit out its recommendations for you. Don't be afraid to plug in foods you love, even if you think that they're junk foods, right? I even said at the beginning, like include cheeseburgers and wine. If you're specific about your calorie max for the day, it'll figure out how much of those things you can have and you can track it on your own in your meal tracker and see how that worked for you. And then you're like, whoa, I'm still eating all these things that I like to enjoy, but at a moderated pace, appropriate portions. And you might feel just so empowered and good. You're like, this is how I've always really wanted to live. It's all about balance, and ChatGPT can help you get there. I don't know if you're as inspired as I was after seeing the power of ChatGPT making meal plans for weight loss. I just think it's so cool and it's fun. I like to think of different things I can ask it and how I can tweak it. And then I like to go in my meal tracker and see how accurate it is. And a lot of times it's pretty on point. Always, sometimes I need to tweak a couple things, but it's so fun and inspiring to have. And it feels good to know that you have something like that in your pocket, literally. And it's free. Hello, I love free resources and tools. So don't forget to download that template. If this information was too much for you, you can just download it. It's there. If you have questions, put them in the YouTube comments. I promised you a bonus prompt, so here it comes. So eating on a weight loss journey means you're most likely eating a lot of lean meats. And with a lot of lean meats comes a lot of chicken breast. It's just something that happens. It's so good for you. It's high in protein. It's low in fat, but it gets kind of boring. And the idea that I had for your bonus prompt is to come up with some recipe ideas for chicken breast, because it can just get boring. You're like, I don't want any more chicken breast. But it's something you just gotta have in your meal plan for weight loss. I just have to say that it's gonna be there. Believe me, it's gonna be there. So here is a bonus prompt for you with the theme of chicken breast. So you can tell ChatGPT this. Can you tell me 3 recipes I can make with chicken breast for dinner that is in these totals of calories? 50% protein, 20% carbs, and 30% fat. This is the coolest prompt. It gave me some really great chicken breast ideas. I got 3 dinner meals right off the bat. So it takes that pressure off of what am I gonna make for dinner? I can get ready ahead of time, make sure I have all those things in the kitchen. Don't forget to add the little tweak of make me a grocery list after each prompt to make it even more simple for you. So that is your bonus tip. And think about, what do you like to eat? Maybe you replace chicken breast with salmon or ground turkey. It's all up to you. The power is in your hands. All right, that's it for today, you guys. Don't forget to download the free template. It's in the show notes. And also, do not forget to mark your calendars. New Year's Eve, December 31st, there is going to be a super fun workshop over on my YouTube channel. And also on all platforms, you're going to get your 2025 30-day goal setting guide. We are going to hit it hard. It's going to be powerful, inspiring. You're going to start the new year feeling so good, educated, knowledgeable, and ready to take on your 2025 weight loss journey. If you found this episode helpful for you, share it with a friend. Don't forget to leave me a 5-star review on Apple and subscribe to the podcast on any platform you're listening on. That includes YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Let's make weight loss simple, sustainable, and easy together. Thanks for listening. Hey there, me again. Quick disclaimer. Here on the Health Hobby Podcast, I share tips, insights, and ideas to help you on your weight loss and fitness journey. But I'm not your doctor or your personal health guru. Before diving into any nutrition or fitness plans I talk about, make sure to check in with your healthcare provider. They know your body best. Think of this podcast as your cheerleader in a place for healthy living idea inspiration, not your prescription pad. Stay safe, stay smart, and let's crush those goals together. Until next time.